Starship's next leap isn't happening in silence. It's rising fast on the coast of Florida. A brand new launch mount is taking shape. The same upgraded system first seen at Starbase, now rebuilt, reinforced, and positioned to anchor an entire new era of high-frequency Starship launches on the East Coast. Steel is going up. Flame trenches are closing in massive manifolds, reinforced platforms, and the signature SpaceX chopsticks are being prepared for a future where rapid reuse isn't just a goal, it's the standard. And for the first time, Florida is no longer the secondary site. It's becoming the second engine of the Starship machine, built to push the program faster, harder, and far beyond the pace anyone expected. This isn't cosmetic progress. This is strategic acceleration. SpaceX is laying the groundwork for a launch network capable of dozens of Starship missions a year. Missions that demand reliability, speed, and industrial-scale operations. Florida is stepping into that role right now. You're watching the moment SpaceX turns a historic launch site into a Starship powerhouse. This is the future being welded together in real time. Welcome to Space Update 24 Hours. Let's dive right in. Florida didn't earn its new role by accident. The shift happening right now is the product of a clear, aggressive strategy, one that SpaceX has been refining since the first steel plates landed at Starbase. For years, Texas has carried the weight of development, manufacturing, testing, exploding, iterating. But the moment SpaceX committed to the upgraded orbital launch mount design, it became obvious that Florida would not stay secondary for long. Everything changed when the enhanced OLM, built with the box frame architecture and heavy manifolds perfected in Texas, began its slow roll from Roberts Road to LC-39A. That single movement signaled a turning point. SpaceX wasn't just copying what worked at Starbase. They were cloning the system, streamlining it, and preparing Florida to operate at the same ferocious pace that made South Texas the busiest rocket test site on Earth. Once the OLM reached the raised platform, crews wasted no time. Welding teams locked it into place. Reinforcement plates wrapped around its base power lines and fluid loops began threading through the frame. The mount is more than steel. It's the anchor for everything Starship will become in Florida. Without it, there are no launches, no static fires, no rapid reuse. With it, the entire coast shifts into high gear. SpaceX knew the flame trench had to be built right on the first attempt. Earlier this year, as excavation finished, massive flame buckets were lowered into the trench, angled, armored, and engineered to channel more than 9,000 tons of super heavy thrust. These buckets weren't just a safety feature. They were the backbone of a pad that's expected to sustain an unprecedented launch rhythm, possibly dozens of missions per year once V3 vehicles enter rotation. And that's only the first layer. Next comes the quick disconnect booster arm, an upgraded fueling system capable of feeding Starship at scale. Florida's QD arm is designed to handle higher pressures, faster cycles, and the liquid oxygen and methane demands of the V3 fleet. The pipelines surrounding the pad show this clearly. Wider diameters, heavier insulation, and a network of distribution lines that look more like an oil refinery than a traditional launch pad. SpaceX is preparing for throughput like no one else. Above it all, perched on the tower, the chopsticks await their transformation. The upgraded lifting and catching mechanisms for V3 are expected to bring tighter tolerances, faster reset times, and possibly the most ambitious part of SpaceX's vision for Starship. A full catch-and-fly system where a booster could touch down, reload, and lift off again without ever leaving the pad. SpaceX hasn't confirmed the timeline, but the tower's design changes show exactly where this is going. When construction wraps, targeted as early as spring, the pad enters its gauntlet. Vent tests, deluge system trials, high-pressure simulations. Then the headline moment, the first LC-39. A static fire of a super heavy booster. That's the moment Florida stops being a construction site and officially becomes a Starship engine. But even as pad work accelerates, SpaceX is building something bigger, a full Starship ecosystem. Roberts Road is evolving into a Starship campus. Concrete foundations outline the future Gigabay, a massive facility that will support stacking, refurbishment, and integrated testing. Its footprint suggests a scale similar to Starbase's production empire: multiple bays, rapid tooling lines, parallel vehicle preparation. When the Gigabay comes online, Florida won't just launch Starships, it will prepare fleets of them. Across the field lies the ghost of the next giant, Star Factory, Florida. Though little has been released publicly, internal planning documents hint at a manufacturing complex designed around automation and high-precision assembly. 3D printed tank sections, welded body rings, and integrated avionics bays produced with the same efficiency as a modern automotive plant. If Starbase is the birthplace of experimentation, Florida will be where mass production becomes real. Testing infrastructure will follow. Static fire stands, structural test mounts, possibly a methane handling facility capable of supporting orbital refilling missions. The backbone of every ambitious SpaceX plan from Artemis to Mars. Transit Florida's geography makes it perfect for industrial-scale fuel production and storage, close to ports, rail networks, and supply lines that aren't available in remote South Texas. Once these systems come online, Florida becomes more than a backup. It becomes the second operational core of Starship, a hub built for cadence, a hub built for reliability, a hub built to launch fleets. For competitors, the message is brutal. While others struggle to certify a single heavy-lift rocket, SpaceX is preparing multiple pads, multiple factories, and multiple production lines. Falcon's infrastructure already runs 3 pads across 2 coasts. Starship is heading toward 5 launch pads worldwide, all designed for rapid reuse, an ecosystem no competitor has the capacity to match. By the time Florida reaches full strength, the combination of Starbase plus LC-39A could support near-weekly Starship flights. When SLC-37 joins the network, that cadence grows again. And if Starship achieves the catch-and-fly capability Elon Musk has openly targeted, the tempo could rise to something no one has attempted in spaceflight history. What's happening in Florida isn't cosmetic expansion, it's industrial dominance. SpaceX isn't just widening its footprint, it's building a launch architecture that makes every other rocket company, traditional or startup, play on a completely different field. This is why the title fits. SpaceX Florida Starship Hub just destroyed all competition forever. Not because the hardware is flashy, but because SpaceX is building a system designed for scale, speed, and missions that require dozens of launches, not 1 or 2 a year. And Florida is becoming the heart of that system. Florida's rise isn't a side story anymore. It's the clearest signal yet that SpaceX is building something far bigger than a launch pad. They're building an engine, an industrial, repeatable, high-tempo engine designed for missions that demand speed, scale, and absolute confidence. Starbase proved the concept. Florida is where the concept turns into capability, and once the Gigabay, Star Factory Florida, and the full refilling infrastructure lock into place, this coast becomes the second heartbeat of the Starship era. That's the real takeaway today. SpaceX isn't just preparing to launch Starship from Florida, they're preparing to operate it relentlessly, continuously, and at a scale no competitor can shadow. If they maintain this pace, the first Starship liftoff from LC-39A won't just mark a new milestone, it will mark the moment the aerospace landscape permanently shifts. If you're excited to watch this new chapter unfold, let me know in the comments. And if you found value in today's breakdown, hit like, share it with someone who follows SpaceX, and subscribe to Space Update 24 hours so you never miss the next major update. Thanks for watching. And until the next one, keep looking forward.